God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. I'm going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens, every creature that has the breath of life in it. Everything on earth will perish. The Bible calls out the resting place of the ark to be in the mountains of Ararat. Scientists believe they have found Noah's lost ark at the Durupinar site in Turkey. Skeptics say it's just a geological anomaly. Watch Drunk with Facts as they uncover what has been found at the site so far, and you can decide for yourself.
The one that looks like an upside down boat, is it?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Because that picture of the ark doesn't. That looks like a barn.
That's
Big,
just
huge.
that's just a
square.
random picture.
Yeah.
I know, but that's what I think is funny because they've seen pictures where it's a big circle and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard of the place? Is it in Utah, Joey, where they actually built it?
Oh,
Or
is
is
that?
it-
Yeah, it's not in Utah. It's
Idaho or something?
St. Louis.
the same place where they have the dinosaurs living with people.
What?
There's never mind. Yeah,
In the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
where they did the full size ark.
It's literally
yeah,
they
yeah.
built it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the same guy who has his whole push is that dinosaurs and human beings coexisted.
Yeah.
Like I say, we didn't. I mean, we could have been their food.
I have no idea.
Wasn't there. Couldn't tell you.
Nope.
Interesting.
But I want to go see the art because it's supposed to be ridiculous.
Have you ever gone through one of the temple, one of the LDS temple reveals when they do the dedication?
No,
I
I
heard it's
wanted to
amazing.
go to this one down here.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I heard
The
it's
Insanely
construction,
beautiful.
the craftsmanship
Yeah.
is, regardless of anything else, just to see the workmanship that goes in
It's a
those places.
beautiful building.
Unbelievable.
Like you think Catholic churches are pretty?
No, I remember
They're
the one they
dirt
built in
compared to
Gilbert.
this.
I mean, it was a waiting list to get into.
I didn't
Uh-huh.
get to see that one,
See
but
it.
I saw the Phoenix one
Did you? Okay.
dedication, and when they redid the Mesa one, the
Okay.
remodel, we went in for that
Yeah.
one too. The font in there was weak as hell compared to the other one.
Yeah.
The one in Phoenix was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, the one they just built out here recently was it Mesa?
Mesa was the one they rededicated.
I want-
so they
oh,
rebuilt
okay,
it.
okay,
It's the one
they
in
re-
old
yep, yep, yep.
downtown. Yeah, they did a whole.
Yeah, I wanted
revamp
to
of
go
it.
see that one, but I couldn't.
We got in.
I couldn't get in.
We saw it. It was cool. It was.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
They're beautiful.
They're
I
unbelievable.
just, yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's why I'd
stuff.
love to go to some of the churches over in Europe because
Oh yeah, some of the old
stained
stuff.
glass and all the architecture and everything.
Well, then you get carpentry with no nails and
Oh, yeah,
stuff, and it's
yeah.
just like
Like, did you just?
some of the stuff I've heard talked about. I don't know if it's real. Like there's a spiral staircase that supposedly has no nails or screws in it.
Oh, really?
And it's, yeah,
It
it's just
makes
ridiculous.
sense if you cut the wood just white. It wedges
Well,
inside of
The
itself.
story I heard about it was that it was built by a guy who they didn't know who it was, and the theory or the legend or whatever is that it was Joseph. So it's like I don't
Can't
know.
say, but
I'd love
still.
I'd love to see a spiral staircase with no nails.
With no
in it.
nails?
Yeah,
That
that'd be
would
wild.
I
kinda
mean,
cool.
back in the day, there wasn't.
Tongue and groove shit.
Yep.
That's all it was, really.
Yeah, you
Very cool.
wedgie it in there.
What's up, everybody?
Booyah.
Happy Thursday.
We're already talking about wedgies.
Welcome to Drunk with Facts.
All right, and wedgies.
Should give a quick shout out to our sponsor, our new sponsor, Project Y.
Yeah.
Because we
like
care.
Because we care, exactly.
Because we like
That's pretty good, actually.
So they got a
Why?
some new masculine products coming out, I guess you would say.
Dude, shit.
Anti-aging creams. They've got all kinds
you
of hair
use it
products
yet?
coming out. Jack still hasn't opened it.
I opened it. I haven't used it yet.
And he looked at it.
I want to make a process.
I was gonna say you look very ravishing
yeah,
today.
yeah, I do. Like, ravish is the word you're looking for.
Joey,
That's the word.
Joey, can you bring up the flyer for them? We'll throw it up there real quick.
No, what I want to do is we got to get 2 more bottles because I want you guys to like all start
that
them
one.
at the same time.
Just so we can verify.
Verify that y'all are still old by the end of it.
Crap.
So Project Y, go to projectynow.com.
What do they got on there?
They got a lot of stuff.
There's a little bottle and a big bottle and a medium bottle.
They should be getting their first
Really?
actual shipment soon. So right now they've
Of
got
the
samples.
because we have the fancy wood lids. Like
I
those
think
are
that's-
way more sleek.
Yeah, they may still do the wood ones. I don't know.
I
I like the
don't know.
wood ones. It's kind of cool.
I kind of like the black. It's very like.
But they're going to be sending us some samples that we can give away on the show. So that'd be fun too.
Should say.
Are they going to send us more shirts?
Possibly.
Those shirts are
I
nice.
know. Really
They're
nice.
so comfy. I love my red one.
Fair enough.
They need to make me an orange one. You think I got enough pull?
Yeah, I think you do.
Woo! Do you?
Did you
I
see
was
the-
gonna say I didn't,
Did
but
you see
that
the
was pretty
camel
good.
one? The camel one, the female camel one's pretty
No.
cool. That's pretty cool. The one that they have, yeah. And then
I just picked the red one. I didn't know there was options.
if you're interested in a fun podcast, they do a podcast called the Y-Cast every other Wednesday.
Nice.
It's a show about men's health, but it's not just about men. They talk about women too.
about
and
health in general.
Yeah, just health in general. But
Targeted
it's geared toward men.
Targeted
but,
towards men.
but talking about, the
There's still
support
good stuff in there.
support structure from women and how they, help men's health.
All geared towards health and longevity.
Yeah, I told
Yes.
him. I said we got to keep y'all together.
Keep
What
us
am I
from
going to
doing
do when I
crazy
fall
shit.
apart?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
If you don't have your stuff together, who's going to keep it together when I'm losing it?
So we are not on TikTok tonight because last week we got kicked off and
Suspended.
Probably for
we
me.
got put in the corner.
We're not
and,
put baby in a corner.
and we probably won't go back on TikTok, to be honest with
Fudge
you,
'em.
because I just think we get kicked off every time.
I can't keep
Some
my
of
mouth
the
shut.
stuff-
Me and Jack, it's
there's
just
things I'm just gonna
inevitable.
say. It's
You have a hard
inevitable.
time.
It's not even worth it. It's not even
No.
fun anymore. To have to think about it. Like, can I say it? No,
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
no.
I just say it.
just be done. Fair
Okay.
enough.
But
There's
tonight's
that.
topic I thought would be kind of fun. First kicked it off. Allison Ivan did a podcast on this a couple of weeks back, and I've been
Oh,
watching.
did they? I'm a
Yeah.
little behind on them.
And been watching a lot of like YouTube stuff on.
There's a bunch of new stuff happening. That's why.
Well, it's the same site too. The same site we're going to talk about
Yeah.
tonight. So
They've been finding some new stuff.
yeah, and they've had some really cool evidence out there. Make of it what you want. You know what I mean? It's all
There, I
subjective.
can tell you.
Well, that's okay.
But there are things that are kind of unique about it, and I think me personally, I think it's a possibility. I don't know.
I'm
Till we
looking
start
forward to-
digging, who knows?
I'm looking forward to seeing the information.
The information.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
Do it!
Let's dive into it
Frick
because I'm
yeah.
sure we're gonna have a lot of conversation about this tonight. So, all right. So, final resting place, Noah's Ark. Dun, dun, dun.
I have a question
Yes.
First,
first.
go ahead.
Don't judge the photo.
No,
Oh,
I actually wasn't. It was kind of pretty.
Okay.
Does it matter if we find the ark or not and where it landed?
No,
I kind of disagree.
it matters.
I think it matters.
Does it matter?
I think it would matter because it would give for any naysayers out there, it would give credibility.
Well,
to the
that's
Bible.
but here's the
The
problem.
naysayers that are there don't believe that the tomb is empty, and we have
But
that.
here's the
so-
problem with that. There's no such thing as definitive proof when you're talking about anything from
Yeah.
biblical times, because it's not like it's annotated. There's like any documentation to make sure that it's real. It doesn't say Noah's Ark on the door.
he didn't
I get
carve his
anything-
name in the
Anything
side
that's
of it. His
verifiable
license plate isn't there.
makes it fake.
I get that, but like anything though, you carbon date something, you have a general.
Yeah.
idea
You
of
can find out how
when
old something is,
Yeah.
absolutely.
was,
But
right.
Is there wood out there that's that old? Yeah.
my argument would be that it doesn't
I just
matter
mean, does it-
because again,
does it matter?
It's a faith
Our cameras
issue
are off.
anyway. When I think about it, it's like if you believe the story of Noah in the first place,
You know that it's somewhere.
how old was he again?
500.
So
300 when he
you're
started
talking about a
arc.
time where things were really different than they are
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So did people live that old? That's kind of hard.
There's already that.
You got to suspend some
There's
disbelief to
already-
begin with.
Oh, so
So-
Christine says to prove the flood actually happened.
Well, I don't think there's any question that the flood had happened.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
You know, I mean, there's scientific to me
Evidence already
anyway.
to that.
There's already
Yeah.
evidence that we know that there was a global extinction
I just,
thing.
does
Whether
it,
or not God asked for a boat to be built before he did that or before that happened, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't discount it one way or the other. I know that we're here and there's these stories.
Well,
and I got nothing going either way.
and the interesting thing too is, there's mountains here in Arizona where they found fish fossils up
Yeah.
in the mountains.
Way up at the
where
top.
Yeah.
You would never think
Yeah.
there was ever water here.
No.
Except that we know that this planet has
Flood
been around
happened,
for
yeah.
a really long time and that
Yeah.
the face of it's changed a lot while we've been here. And I'm sure it changed immeasurably
gonna
before we ever
continue.
got here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't doubt the possibility of it all.
All right,
In
so-
the King James Version of the Bible, Genesis 8:4 says, "And the ark rested on the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat." And where is Ararat?
So it's actually in Turkey. It actually
Oh,
is
cool.
in the mountain range where they say they found this thing.
Oh,
That's
cool.
what they consider modern day Ararat, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So pretty interesting there.
So there you go. We're looking better. We're looking better. You want to read that, babe? Just kidding.
You're-
I'll read it for you.
You're cute.
I was trying to be cute. That was adorable.
You got it?
The mountains of Ararat are the dominant volcano in
Dormant.
Turkey. Oh, dormant Well, it could be dominant. Volcano in Turkey, made up of two peaks, Greater Ararat and Little Ararat. Oh. The mountains are a popular destination for trekking. Trekking? That's trekking, right?
Hiking, basically.
Yeah.
Hiking.
And are also considered sacred by
Armenians.
Armenians.
Spelunking.
Spelunk, spelunk, spelunk.
Oh, trekking is spelunking?
No, it's not.
Oh, I was like, what?
I just
like
like using
it's
that word, spelunking.
Geography. The mountains are located in eastern Turkey. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Clam and feather duster.
Worm near
fossils.
Douglas. Yeah, it's crazy. The mountains are part of the Armenian Highlands. They're made up of basalt. Or is that basalt?
Basalt, yeah.
Basalt? Okay.
That turns people into zombies.
Oh, no, that's bath salts. Those are different. The mountains are covered in snow and glaciers.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's way too high for me to be doing anything.
In Turkey?
History of significance. The mountains are thought to be the resting place of Noah's Ark after the Great Flood. I mean, if it's a big, tall mountain, it kind of makes sense. Mountains have been used as symbols of Armenian national and cultural identity for thousands of years. The mountains have been featured on Armenian currency, stamps, and coats of arms. That's cool.
That is interesting.
Like the Twin Peaks kind of thing. The mountains are also associated with the Armenian genocide.
Genocide, yep.
Young Turks. Woo!
So we're proud of the mountains, but then we kill people?
Which mountains? These are the Himalayas or no?
No, the
The Ararat Mountains.
Ararat Mountains. Or the Armenian.
The large Greater Ararat and the Little Ararat.
Where are Himalayans?
Don't know.
Anybody? No idea.
No.
In Malaysia?
The Himalayan mountains. I don't know. I'm
I
just
don't know.
Be funny if they were in Malaysia.
well because the Middle East. This is where's Turkey's like Middle Eastern, is it not?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so like India-ish. So
Yeah.
I think that's where Babaji was from. I'm not sure. Anyway,
Yeah, it's tiny. So the actual site where the ark is said to rest is the Darupanar site. So the size and the shape of the formation led to its promotion by some believers as the petrified ruins of the original Noah's Ark. Geologists assert that it's entirely natural formation, but have nominated it as geological heritage. The site is near several officially unnamed peaks, and the locals call one of the nearby peaks Kuti Daja in
God bless
Turkish,
you.
bless you.
which salvage expert David Fassel linked to Al Kuti, whoever that is,
Bless you.
place named in the Quran as the final resting place of Noah's Ark.
Okay.
Oh, so the Quran also labels it as a place. Interesting.
When was the Quran written?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
If it was after, they could
course it
have
was after.
associated it with,
They just copied some of the stuff anyway.
right?
So Turkey committed genocide against the Armenians. Okay.
Okay.
So according to local reports, heavy rains combined with 3 earthquakes exposed the formation from the surrounding mud on May 19th, 1948. It was discovered by a Kurdish shepherd named Rashid Sarahan, I guess. It was subsequently identified by Turkish army captain Darupanar, Ilhan Darupanar, for whom it was subsequently named. So that was interesting. I can't read the rest of that, but I know it says the site was ignored until 1977 when it was rediscovered and promoted by self-styled archaeologist and amateur explorer Ron Wyatt. Throughout the 1980s, Wyatt repeatedly tried to interest other people in the site, including ark hunter and former astronaut James Irwin.
Yeah, you got to find a money backer.
Crocodile Hunter?
That's Steve Irwin.
Oh, my bad. So, you know what's interesting to me is, and I've heard this before, the whole Young Turks and the Armenian genocide. There are still Armenian people around, are there not?
Yes.
Do I not know what genocide means?
It doesn't mean you kill them all.
Well,
I thought that's exactly what it means.
Yeah, but they said it was genocide on the Jews too.
Well, they've said it was genocide on trans people.
Right.
I'm saying that
You're
that
killing
term,
most of
that
them
term gets
because
used
of that.
incorrectly.
Yeah,
Is it?
absolutely.
Genocide
Yeah.
means
Means wiping
eliminate.
out.
Extinguish.
I believe the only
The Mayans, you could say, would have been a genocide
A true
Right.
genocide.
event.
well
That's
the
true.
Because it completely disappeared.
that's the case with the original the New Zealanders. The original New Zealand people are gone, and what
Like that
are
original
the Maori
bloodline, yeah.
are considered the natives, but they're not. They're Pacific Islanders who killed all of the original people, and there's record of the last one of them to die. So it's just interesting to me that they
They use
say genocide. I'm like, I've met
and
lots of Armenian people, but
Yeah.
I've heard the Armenian genocide many times, and it's like, You guys,
So how
don't
did
know
you
what
get
this
here
means.
then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I don't know what it means, but I'm pretty sure it means all of them.
So they use it to
Yeah,
loosely
they use it to
say.
amp people up and be like, "This is bad."
Bad.
Well, I mean, it is
And
bad.
I'm not saying it's not bad. I'm just saying it's again words.
It's half a genocide,
do words matter or
not a
not?
whole.
I don't know.
Do words matter?
So Fasold and the team states that ground penetration radar revealed a regular internal formation that measured the length of the formation as 538 feet, close to 300 cubits, or 515 feet of the Noah's Ark in the Bible, and the Royal Ancient Egyptian cubic of 20.62 inches. I think that's inches next to that. Fasold believed that the team found the fossilized remains of the upper deck and that the original reed structure had disappeared. In the nearby village of Kazan, they examined so-called drogue anchor stones that were believed to once be attached to the ark, which we do have a picture of that, and they're quite unique. But Joey and I were talking about earlier, and we did find some irregularities with them. So
Let's see it.
pretty interesting. So go to the next slide.
Let's see the evidence. Show me the picture. That's not.
According to the Bible, Noah's Ark was 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. A cubit is an ancient unit of measurement based on the distance from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. In modern terms, a cubit is generally considered to be 18 inches. Using this conversion, the ark would be approximately 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. The ark's roof was made of more than 50 feet from the ground, which was higher than a modern 4-story house. The ark was very large with the standards of ships in the ancient world. The ark was not designed to be a sailing ship, but rather a floating structure to preserve human and animal life. Yeah, he wasn't really, he was only going with the waves.
They weren't
He
sailing.
wasn't going anywhere.
He just needed to stay above
Just
water.
needed to float.
That's
So,
interesting. Any hollow vessel of any volume would do so.
Yep.
Well, it had to be upsized to have
Hold
all the
everything.
animals, all the plants, and everything they tried to save.
you really
so.
could have just extinguished the cockroaches. We really didn't need to bring those.
Well, and that's what's funny.
Scorpions too. Like,
All
you-
the concept of the 2x2 thing is, again, there's a leap of faith involved because that's just stupid. He wasn't collecting bacteria or all the things that we now know
no, they would have
exist.
made it. But
So
like,
you know what I mean?
a
It's like,
scorpion.
obviously, he didn't
A scorpion in Arizona.
Well,
Did you have a
or
scorpion
Black
on
Widow
there?
and it's mated. Like, how long
Right.
did he have to research to figure out that the male and female of that spider don't look the same?
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? Or how
did
many
they just
spiders even
show up?
existed then? Because the species
Yeah.
of spiders continues to grow and
Yeah,
change.
evolve. Or these made after? I don't know.
Well, and what's interesting too is I tried to look up what people would depict as the map, the flood map of what
Mhm.
the flood would have actually looked like, and any of the pictures I found didn't show that it wasn't a global
Blood.
flood. It shows that in that specific area around Turkey,
Yeah.
it showed that area flooded.
Yeah.
But it didn't show that it was a global event.
Well,
which
was
is
this
interesting?
Younger
mean-
Dryas was pre or post flood?
What?
Do you know,
I think
Joey? Okay.
12
Okay. 12,000.
12,000 BC. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you said
So in that 15 to 12,000 years ago, that area in there.
because I think this was what 7,000 years ago.
I-
The flood, I think. if
I'm
you
not
look
sure,
at the
'cause I-
time frame.
you have the some of those folks, like the one who rebuilt the ark, are of the belief that Earth's only like 3,000 years old.
What was that, Joey?
Okay.
All right.
About 6.
So
yeah.
about 6,000 years. Yeah. Okay. That's just mind blowing to think 6,000 years ago, right?
Yeah.
We think about
10 years ago.
30 years ago, 100 years ago.
500 years ago is a
Yeah.
really long time.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So much has happened in that time.
500 years ago is 5 generations.
Well, think about this. This whole
No.
nation didn't exist.
No,
No.
not at all.
No.
500
just
years
think
ago.
about
And we're talking
you-
thousands of years
You
ago?
and yours. So like I knew my grandfather. I didn't know my greats. So I have 2 generations there and he was 100 years old. So I can only go back that far. Like that's what I've got. I didn't get to know a great.
So these are the drogue stone. These things are kind of interesting.
Looks
So
like a guy.
so the concept, that's the fossil guy.
That's your dude.
That's the explorer.
Okay.
So the idea of these stones was they would run a rope through that hole, and these stones would hang on
That's your weight.
either side of the ark
Yeah.
to help balance the ark.
Oh, okay. That's your weight. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And
So
the
they-
waves and everything. I got you.
So
I
they
got you.
found these stones by a nearby town. The interesting thing, like Joey pointed out earlier, that the only thing that's off here is that there's crosses etched into it. Now, could that have been done?
That could have been done after.
After, yeah.
I mean,
But if these were found with crosses, then that would obviously
just because they
negate the idea that it came from that time.
But just because they were found,
Trust me, these are going to be really popular later.
But just because they were found now, even in 1940, doesn't mean that. I mean, shepherds have been up there forever.
Rocks have been up there for a really long
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
So I mean, doesn't mean that they're just.
Why do we know the Anunnaki didn't carve them in?
How do we know any of that?
Thinking ahead of time.
Because
Joey.
honestly, it doesn't look a whole lot like a cross, than more like a plus symbol, because it is very equal.
With when you get into the closer picture, go to the next slide.
Are
I
they?
think I have a closer picture of it. They do look like crosses.
No, that looks like an X. It's not any higher or lower on one side.
No, these look like Templar crosses.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
like crosses.
Yeah, they're just the old X's. Yeah.
Now you can't see little fans on the ends of those things, can you?
Yeah, they have the little fans.
Yeah, they look like
okay.
they look like
Oh,
they
okay.
look
Crosses,
decorative.
right.
Yeah, they're
They look
fancy.
very
That's
decorative.
not a
But I mean, could they have been used as a counterweight for something else? Yeah, I guess that's a possibility, right?
I always just look at those things and I always think, like, at what point did we figure out how to drill holes in stone? You know, I mean, we know that they built pyramids long time ago.
Yeah.
So the carbon dating thing is the only thing we can kind of have some idea about. But
Yeah.
like technologically, it's interesting the things that we find that are so incredibly old that have things done to them, like holes drilled through them.
Yeah.
How
That's
the
a
hell?
thick ass rock.
How
This
did you
is
do
way
that?
pre-bronze, like, you know what I mean? Like what?
Would you sit there with a chisel and a knife, like you
Well, he
rub
was
your
able to
finger
build a
against
boat,
it?
so they had metal, they had tools, they had
Yeah.
ropes. Obviously, when
Somebody
did they
chiseled
figure
it.
out how to drill and shape stones of that size?
Well,
Not to
yeah, you
mention,
could have used a
that's
hand.
got to weigh a couple of pounds.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
How
a
many
couple
people did he have
1,000-pound
helping him?
rock. Yeah, exactly.
With
Yeah.
the gorillas on his team too.
I
Like,
mean, you never
hey,
know.
Silverback, get over here and lift this for me.
Come on, bro. Get the elephants working
You're my
with you.
boy,
Come on.
bro.
Let's go. Let's go.
Can you read this? Because I can't.
You
read
can do it.
this.
Yeah, do you want me to?
Yeah.
Arzap Drogue.
God bless
Is that
you.
his name? Arzap Drogue stones are heavy. Flat stones with holes. Yep, we already got that. That were used as storm anchors on ancient ships. They were found near the village of Arzap in Turkey. I don't think I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right?
Doesn't
Arzap?
matter.
There's that.
Arzap in Turkey, and we believe to have and are believed to have been used to stabilize Noah's Ark. I mean, it makes sense. You have to have the weight on each side because the waves will just whoosh over,
Well, in a ship that big too. I mean,
right? Like you got to have some sort of balance.
I don't know what they would do. I mean, other than they wouldn't. I get what anchors do. I'm not sure how they'd work as like a counter ballast or anything, because the boat's going to rock back and forth.
It's gonna rock, but if it's too light, it'll just kind of flip. If you have that weight, it'll whoosh, but
But
it
if
won't
they're-
whoosh as hard.
If they're not, they have to be on the ground. They have.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Purpose to create drag in the water. Oh, so it is in the water or along sandy bottoms to cause the bow or stern of a ship to face into the wind
Got it.
to help ships withstand storms. Aha. See, Joey, we just had to finish reading.
It's in the friggin'
It's in the notes. Joey's like, read.
Huh?
Discovery. David Farsold and Ron Wyatt discovered the stones. Geologist Lawrence Collins co-authored a geological investigation of the stones with Farsold. Characteristics. Some stone have crosses carved into the rock. Some stones have but I guess, I mean, if it's one for, I mean, if they use this for all sorts of ships, wouldn't you want to kind of like bless the stone that's going to make you not fall over? So I get the cross part kind of.
Except
Not
with
for Noah's Ark, but
Yeah.
for other ones.
When they found them, and they probably said, "Hey, these are from whatever," and then they probably
Yeah.
came out afterwards. Now, I don't think that science and faith exist independently of
No.
each other. I think it's cool when you
There-
can find
yeah.
science that backs up
That goes together.
things of faith.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, the flood. We know the flood
Yeah.
happened. It's a matter of faith that you think that it was decreed by God.
Yeah.
And science says
And
it
then
was
we got
otherwise.
2x2s
And guess
on
what?
there.
What I know that
Doesn't matter.
a fact,
Flood
the
happened.
flood happened, and it exists in every
Everywhere. Yep.
culture that keeps records of stuff. They have a flood story.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Noah story or not, doesn't matter.
It's
we know
still
the
a
flood
huge
happened.
flood.
And
Yeah.
to me, that's
It is interesting though that
Matters.
the Quran talks about Noah's Ark, right? Because that's just another. Because what other religions talk about Noah?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
that-
I
I don't know.
haven't
If
read any other
I don't know if
religions.
there's a Jewish religion talk about it.
well, they're the Bible.
Yeah. They're the Bible. So, yeah, they have the
Yeah.
Old
Yeah,
Testament.
that's true.
so
They
you're
are
in
they
there.
are Old
You're good.
Testament. That's right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
In that
Yeah.
regard, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The only other ones before that were the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, the Middle, those kind of scriptures, and I don't think that they.
I don't know.
I don't believe. I don't actually know.
I don't know. So
I don't know
characteristics.
why I forgot about that. Jewish
Some
Old
stones.
Testament.
Hello.
Must be the whiskey.
Yeah. Characteristics. Some stone have crosses carved in the rocks. Some stones have other Christian symbols, such as the emblem of Nimrod, Noah's great-grandson. Similar stones have been found in ancient Armenia. I mean, it makes sense. Again, if that's what there was their purpose, that makes sense.
So, since you guys know the Bible better than I do, obviously, the idea was God wanted to save Noah and his family, but is it true that God would distribute the land to Noah's children, to his sons?
It
When they
talks about
survive?
everybody getting their area.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. So I thought I read something about that.
I can tell you that past the fact that Noah was supposedly the person who built the ark, and then some other people went with him. My brain never could consume that whole story as
It's really hard.
a factual thing, because it's just so insane to think like, why I'm going to kill everybody except for you. Well, why? Because you're a really old drunk guy, and I just like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard.
It all, and in my
but I'm
head,
gonna send
it
all
all
these
paints it.
animals to you.
When I
Maybe
think about it too
you're gonna
much,
take
it
care of them.
paints all of the God thing in such a personalized stance that it starts to irritate me, because I'm like, I don't think God's that stupid. Like, it seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
It seems ridiculous.
Well, the Bible does
Like,
talk
is that
about
your
why
restart?
he wanted to kill everybody, though, because
yeah,
It
yeah, I
does.
know, because
It
they were
does.
wicked, and they were
Yeah.
They
it's
were
like
terrible.
you made them. You made them.
You knew we were gonna be
So,
here.
and this is why I can't go through it in
It's
that
just-
thought process.
it's hard.
It's a faith thing, and whatever it is, that's cool.
Yeah,
but
but
I can't think
my
about
only
it. 'cause it
argument,
just
my
irritates
only
me.
argument to the he made us, right, is the fact that he gave us free will.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing that's the only argument that I have.
Totally
Is
understand that.
He
You
said,
knew,
"Here
you
you
knew
go.
better than that.
This is you. You guys do what you're going to do. This is what I ask of you. If you don't do it, you go to hell. If you do it, you go to heaven."
Right. So,
I mean,
and I have no problem with that, except for where we're at currently in the same idea of
Right.
you have free will. Cool. We'll follow my lead. Whose lead? Mine. Where are you at? Oh, well, I'm not going to show myself. Dude, don't be a jerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I
there's
get
a real imbalance in that whole, like, you got to follow because it's what has to happen. You don't have to follow.
Be
You're going to
great if you
burn. I'll kill
did.
you, if
Yeah.
you don't follow, but just do it because I said so. Can we meet or talk or anything like
yeah,
that
can you
first?
give me some like?
No, just there's a book. Read it. All of that stuff is so ridiculous to me when
Can
I
you
think
like
about it.
show me?
So I know that I
know?
have to take my
Yeah.
head out of it. I can't think about
Yeah.
it.
I don't think God had anything
Because
to
you
do
get
with the
sucked.
Bible.
Of course
You
he
get
did.
Nor,
sucked in.
what my point is, I don't even know if he would agree with the Bible. You know what I mean?
I do
think
know what you mean.
I-
That's my point.
I do say that I do say that the Ten Commandments were designed by him, and those were his 10 rules, right? Everything else came after. So, people wrote the Bible. We interpreted the Bible based on stories they uncovered.
Well, then we've
or,
interpreted it so many times since then
Right.
from languages and everything else.
So
We've played the telephone.
What I
game.
know
Right.
is I don't know.
I don't
any
know
of it
anything
for certain, but I don't discount it just because I don't know it or understand it. I you know what I mean?
You understand.
Put that
You
up
know
again,
and
Joey. I didn't read
understand that
that.
you know and understand, but that's about it.
Yeah.
from Google, the cross first showed up in history in the 2nd century BC.
Yeah, it was one of the implements that to torture Jewish insurgents, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't really
It
a.
was used like a hangman,
Pe-
not a.
It was for killing people,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
torturing
killing.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Wasn't
It
any.
just happens to be assimilated with
Now
Christ.
it's our symbol,
symbol,
because
right.
of what happened.
Which, for those of you who aren't too overly sensitive, look up bungee jumping Christ. It's the funniest thing I've ever
What?
seen. It's so funny.
Oh my god, that might be
It's
a video
I'm sorry, it's fun.
I don't even have to watch it. I can almost.
It's
bet
not
you
a
I
watch
know
it.
what
It's
is.
a thing you put in your house. It's
Oh, really?
yeah. It's
What?
Jesus.
yeah.
I almost.
It's a bungee jumping. It's hilarious. It's funny.
It's a thing you put in your house.
People hang on. You've seen crucifix in people's houses.
Yeah, we have one in the
multiple
hallway.
houses,
Right.
yeah.
And so it's a guy that's hanging there dying on a cross.
Right.
This one is just him bungee jumping off a cross.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, then.
It's awesome.
That sounds hilarious.
I think it is hilarious. It's the same thing.
He's
He's just got a rope tied to his legs and he's jumping off of the cross as opposed to
That's
hanging
funny.
on it.
I mean, if you're gonna go.
It's one of those things that I know that some people will just be like, oh, it's like, why is that less offensive than him dying on the thing?
Yeah.
When it comes
That
right
at
down to
least
it,
makes it a
that's horrific.
conversation piece.
Exactly. And it's cuter. And
So,
I don't
yeah.
think that God doesn't have a sense of humor. So
No.
Before we go on, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So we say Noah was
No.
500 years old, right?
I think
When
it says
he was
that.
300 when he started building the.
It says he was 500 years old when this happened, when the flood happened.
When he was, yes, he was 300
Okay.
when he started building it. He was 520 or
It took him
something.
200
when,
years to build the ark.
Yeah, it took forever.
Wow.
It's a
Him and,
big
like,
boat.
It's him and
He
like
didn't have a
5
whole crew.
dudes. What do you expect? It's
Well-
not like people are going to jump in and be like, "Sure, dude, I'll help you. You're going to kill us all."
It supposedly took 50 to 75
Oh.
years to build the ark.
Well, Joey, how long did
I
it
thought
take
it
to
was
make
longer
the
than that.
signs that you did with a CNC thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Takes some
But-
time.
But
Woodworking's not
here's,
easy.
here's my point. Was he truly 500, or is that just kind of how we counted age back
I have no
Interpreted. We
idea.
have no
Right?
idea.
You know what I
All I
mean?
know is
I
it
don't know.
says how old he is in the Bible. I don't
Um,
know if a year was a year back then. I have no clue.
Because I just can't imagine that we would have lived for 500 years.
Can you?
I don't-
Okay, we're gonna go down this aisle. Okay,
I mean, we barely make 100 now if we're lucky.
no. Think about your grandparents
Yeah.
and your grandparents' parents. Do you know how old they lived?
Not 500 either.
Not 500
No,
years.
but easily 100.
Not always. No,
Not
none,
easily.
none of my
Well, I mean-
grandparents lived 100. None of my great grandparents lived 100.
My grandfather, my dad's dad was 98.
Yeah.
I know his father was over 100. So, I mean, of course, as we're producing more food and we're processing more things, our age is going to decline. Back then, you're getting everything natural.
But that's not true. In the 1920s and 30s, somebody help me out. What was the average age?
Well, yeah, but
1920s and
60s,
30s, you were still
70s?
producing things. You weren't eating everything
Not like
fresh.
we are today.
well, we
Not
can
like
we
we are
can
today,
we can we
no.
can track how like the average lifespan of human beings for as long as we've tracked those things.
Yeah.
But we really don't know
We have nothing
going
before
back
then.
to biblical times or before biblical
Right.
times how long people actually lived. What was a year? You know,
that's
and what
my
was
point.
the year?
because
That's my
Exactly.
we call it ADBC
A
based on our
season-
calendar that we came up with
Yeah.
when.
It could be
You know
a
what I mean?
season just because they know,
Right.
oh, this is the last time it
So
snowed. So
whatever
it's been a year. I mean,
scale they used for age. I mean, because all those people were hundreds of years old,
Yeah.
according to the stories, right?
Right.
So clearly they either lived a lot longer or days were years.
I mean, Jesus was 27
was a
when he
year.
died, wasn't
Yeah.
he? 26, 27 years
He
old.
looked to
or
be at
something like
least
that.
35 from the pictures I've seen. And I
From
know
the
those weren't
pictures
the
you've
best.
seen.
They weren't the highest resolution
Ah.
photographs ever, but
Did the earth spin faster back then? Maybe. Possibly before the moon, Joey?
I mean,
before they before they built the moon, it was I think it had to spin faster. The moon probably slowed it down.
Slows it down.
So whole
gravitational
tidal lock.
pull.
People's heads are exploding right now.
no,
We
they're
never-
not.
we
No,
never talk-
people's
they
heads
are.
are not exploding because people are going, what? And
We,
it's
yeah,
like,
we don't talk about those theories. On
do we
this
not talk
show.
about this stuff? Do you
Not
guys
on
not
this
know
show.
that we're
Not on
morons?
this
Oh, my
show.
bad. I'm sorry.
That's truth about beer when we talk about shit like that.
Oh, well, I
I don't know,
can't
I need more
separate
whiskey in
anything.
my
So
thing if we're going to talk about this.
that's I love the.
I just poked myself in the eye.
It's been a long shot. 100 has always been a long shot, as far as we know. And as far as-
Yeah.
I mean,
Us
even back,
human
you
beings
go
go.
back like the 1700s, 1800s, they didn't live that long, 30s and
Know
40s.
that?
Yeah, there's evidence.
How about
that
the
they lived
1200s
30s and
or
40s.
the year 1000? Like nobody's around from then.
Once
Right,
the moon was
right.
put
So,
in there.
or nobody's around that hangs out with us because keep in mind, there's still supposedly yogis up in the mountains of the Himalayas that
That
have
are
been around for
hundreds
thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's not the case.
I want to meet one.
I'm
Well,
good.
that's the thing. You have
Well, that's
you
the
have to
whole
re-
Appalachian stuff.
no, that's a different thing. I
No?
think Appalachian's different. I could be wrong,
The
but
calendar has changed multiple times over the years.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
sure it has.
Maybe like you said, maybe a season was a year to them.
yeah.
right?
And
I mean,
that's,
that would-
again,
that would
what do you
kinda-
know? Winter to winter, snow to
Right.
snow is all you know.
has
I mean,
anybody read Autobiography of a Yogi?
Mm.
Okay, so Paramahansa Yogananda started the church that I grew up in, the SRF church, and it dealt with meditation, all this stuff, a lot of in Middle Eastern, Hindu type stuff, and some of the gurus, yogis of that time were already thousands of years old, lived up in the mountains, and
But
they
they
were
got there.
teachers of modern people like Paramahansa Yogananda. He took an audience when he left his body, and I say left his body because he did. He had everyone come, and he left the earth intentionally, in purpose, and in front of an audience. That's what does that mean? Does that mean that because they claim to have control over those things at a certain level of Christ consciousness, they are able
to control your heart, control your breathing,
Just
control.
to control
yeah.
how long they live, even. But there's some moral level, moralistic level to it of why you don't just live forever.
Right.
But it's
Yeah,
interesting to me
nowadays, I
because
don't think I'd want
I
to.
have personally experienced changing your biology through meditation, stopping your heart, stopping your breathing,
Mhm.
And at the level that we were ever able to attain, it's terrifying. It's cool, and then it's scary.
You were like, okay, this is great. Oh,
You
this is
become
not
aware
great
that,
anymore.
I'm not breathing. It's
This is
weird,
bad.
but
Yeah.
it's cool.
I
But-
need to breathe to live.
so
like,
there's
I
some
gotta
level of
breathe.
that can be done. So what our bodies are capable of currently, again,
Insane
we don't really know because we're
Yeah.
not in that level
of mindset.
what do you call
Yeah.
it, of the age, the golden age, or
Yeah.
we even call it dark ages. All these things,
Yeah.
they're cyclical. And these are the things that I know from the religion that I grew up in, is that in the golden age, we're closer to that.
Well, it's
Christ
also
consciousness.
what's important in that time.
Right. Where we're at with technology and all these things. The pyramids exist. We don't know
Yeah.
how they're built. It's more
Still don't know.
the golden age
Yeah.
where it's not the same kind of technology we have
Yeah.
now. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
So interestingly, I don't know if that means crap to anybody other than me, but it's interesting in these conversations because having that kind of insight makes these things believable.
Yeah.
But there's no way to make them
I
sound
can't
reasonable.
wrap my head around it. I can't have any good facts behind it.
Right. I can't tell you that I think any of this stuff makes any sense with what we are currently, but because of what I believe,
Yeah.
it's not unbelievable to me.
That's an interesting point too.
Yeah.
Animals that can hibernate.
Maybe we could too.
Maybe we
I
could
mean,
too.
it
Well,
makes sense. There's plenty of bears that stock up for
Winter.
yeah, and they slow their heart rate and breathing down to almost nothing.
There's all sorts of homeopathic and naturalistic people that do stuff like that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's not necessarily
To help
hibernation, but
heal
they
and
change
help-
their
yeah.
physiological profile through concentration, brain
Mhm.
power, all that stuff. So it's just we get used to what we're used to.
And how do you know if that's all you've been told? You're not gonna
Right.
look at anything else.
And I don't poo-poo anything. I want to think maybe there's somebody that does live thousands a year. You know what I mean? It's be freaking fantastic.
There's a
But,
reason why they're up in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly.
And not dealing with any of us.
Yep.
All right, next
Okay.
slide. All right, so some of the most recent updates as
2021.
early as 2021. So a collaboration between a Turkish scientific team and American media outlets, including History Channel, embarked on the most comprehensive scientific investigation of the Dunapar site to date. Utilizing an array of modern scientific methods, this project aims to shed further light on the mysteries surrounding the formation and also to determine the most effective means of preserving this intriguing site for future generations to study and explore. I put that website in there, and I wish we can copy and paste and put it in the chat because I went through that website and it's really cool. Some of the shit they did with the radar detections and
Oh
shooting
yeah,
radar
because
into
you
the
can do
ground.
the whole
I
like
seen it was really cool stuff that it kicked back, and I actually have some of those pictures. But it was interesting, very interesting.
that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
I think we lost our producer.
Nope. So yeah, so these are some of the radar things that got kicked back.
That's a
So-
Star Destroyer.
It looks like it, right?
Yeah, it does.
So upper left picture kind of shows, some straight structures in there, right? The one on the right, upper right, really shows it. Some different rooms or
Areas.
bays, as they would say. Levels, yeah. Yep.
What sort of scan is this now?
I think this is a LiDAR scan. I think it was
The like
LiDAR.
radar that goes into the
Yeah,
ground
yeah,
and
they
it
Did
just
you shoot
shows.
the radar? Yeah.
if
So
you
we
hit
don't know what the
stuff.
colors mean.
No, I don't know what the colors mean.
But that's
It probably says
so
it on
those
the
three
thing.
zoomed in things are down there on the bottom right there. That's all of them.
That's all. Yeah, that's all of them. Together.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're
Like where they were found. Oh, okay. I got you.
So I wish I would have did a close up on the one on the bottom left, but you see a lot of structures with right angles, which
Oh yeah. Makes
wouldn't really be
rooms.
consistent with a rock formation, right? You wouldn't
no, I
think
don't.
there would be multiple.
these are
right
these
angles
things.
in
These are all things that are underground, right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're shooting under that.
They haven't excavated this stuff yet.
No.
Interesting.
And I don't know what that's going to take for them to do. If anything, it's fossilized at this point.
Well, but I
right?
mean, it's clearly not.
Yeah,
same
but
as
you
the
can
material around
fossilize
it.
it to.
No.
So whatever's around it is different if it's scanning.
It's
like
not
that.
the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
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 That's really weird. I don't know what that means. I would love to know what that means because that's
We need to look up that website. You got to send that to.
well,
Jack.
they did the Amazon stuff with the
Mhm.
LiDAR too, and I get that because it's super clearly different materials.
Yeah.
So like, what's the ground all around that?
Yeah, the website website goes into that. It's
Yeah,
got,
I didn't
it's got
check
the
that
full
out.
reports you can look at. I mean, it's very detailed.
That's
Yeah, their
awesome.
website is super detailed. They have links to everything. So I thought it was pretty fascinating. That's why
That's
I wanted
wild.
to, that's why I wanted
That's
to put those up
crazy,
there.
though.
But what I'll do is sometime in the next couple of days I'll share that link on
Yeah.
Drunk with Facts
Yeah.
on Facebook. That way, if you guys want to go check out that website, it's pretty fascinating.
That's cool.
So, and then this was
aerial.
interesting. So, I think the first picture on the left, I didn't put the words in there, but I think that was from 1936, and the other picture was from 1959.
I don't know what 1936.
I don't
I'm
even know what we're
at.
looking at.
On
So,
the left.
If
The
you
right
go,
one on 1959, I can see that. That looks like a boat.
so that got exposed by
Oh,
the
the
earthquakes.
earthquakes and everything.
So you can
okay.
if you go kind of in the middle, Joey, to where it looks like a muffler. Yeah, right there, right where your mouse is. That's kind of the shape right there.
Oh, but
But
it was not exposed.
It wasn't as defined or exposed until the earthquakes
The
happened.
earthquakes
My
happened.
brain doesn't work well enough to take those two pictures and relate them as the same place because they're not the
'Cause they're
identical.
not the
They're
same.
not
same,
identical
yeah.
orientation. I'm like going like that's not even the same thing.
He's like, the thing is like this,
That's
and then
pointing
it's like
that way
this,
and
and
then
I
that
don't,
way.
I can't see it.
And what do we say? Are we saying that it's rocket bullet shaped or is it trailer shaped or what? We don't know.
Right now,
Well,
it looks like
I mean,
a seed.
To me, if you look at the 1959 picture to
looks-
the right, that looks like possibly where the bow of the boat would be, the front of the boat.
It's pointy.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
pointy. I got you. I got
And then
you.
the stern would be on the left, of course. in the
But there
middle.
again, that's where it's wasn't built to be a navigable, schooner.
Yeah. We
So
don't
it
know.
shouldn't be pointy. It should
Well, it
be
was-
shaped like a barn.
It shouldn't be.
It doesn't
but,
matter.
you
I'm
know,
just
but
being a pain
Could
in
have
the
been
ass.
erosion.
Eh.
Could have been all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
that
Who knows?
caused it to do that? I don't know.
It's
It's
still
just- it's-
fascinating, but the size of that is
Big.
the fact that it lines up with what they said.
Mhm.
And where it should
That,
be.
that part's interesting. Just in because to be that span of time, like good in the area that we're set up is, and then we found something that matches that dimension. It'd be cool if you could figure out the materials and all that stuff.
yeah.
They-
they-
And even
found-
better if there was a name tag.
Yeah.
right. Noah's.
Noah was here.
Well, if they,
One of the kids
even if
is
they
like,
found,
etched
like,
in the corner.
His hammer with his name chiseled into it.
even if they found like animal remains and stuff like that, that would
cool.
lend a little bit more.
Well, that would also suck because it would mean that that's an animal that went extinct. Because the whole point of the 2x2 is for them to
I get that.
Jeez
but
Louise.
Do we,
Well,
do
but
we
how do
know
you
all the
feed-
animals made
How do
up-
you
made it
feed
up,
the
right?
lion?
don't.
You have to feed him the whole time.
Well,
What
this
is
is
he
the
going to
thing.
eat?
To put
Bob.
animals on a boat to eat other animals.
On the boat.
That doesn't make much sense. A lot of holes in this story, buddy.
Do you need extra chickens? Because chickens are feeding everybody.
You caged up. I mean, again,
What do you do with the ducks? I mean, ducks float. I don't.
we had meat eating animals, right?
Yep.
Where'd you put them? What'd you feed them?
Yeah, would you feed that lion that whole
To
time?
eat other animals.
Yep.
Put them on a floating boat with a bunch of other
Other
animals.
animals.
It's-
I'm sure it happened. It had to.
And who
right?
cares?
Right.
It doesn't. It's not necessary for me to.
I can't fathom that. I can't think about that because then you think about bugs and everything else. And I'm like a scorpion. You had 2 scorpions on there. You had 2 beetles. You
Yeah.
had 2
And faith.
anything that's not in the
faith
water.
journeys
Like
don't require that sort
They
of.
probably
can't.
fished.
No, they
for
couldn't.
them,
Well, that's the other funny thing. Like, the fish didn't get killed by the flood. Nothing
No,
that in
they-
the ocean got killed by the flood, but it killed everything, all life,
yeah,
except for all the life that was
all the
underwater.
air breathing.
Okay, well,
yeah,
whatever.
great.
Frogs
frogs were
weren't
good.
affected. Well,
they were good.
amphibians.
Toads were good.
Again, not necessary.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. Like,
So
my
just chill
brain
out, Dad.
just-
It's I get it. It's
Yeah.
faith and science aren't hand in hand, but it's
I
funny.
got you.
But I love stuff like this, though.
But again, we
because-
found fossils up in the top of mountains, so we know that there was a flood. That's where my faith ends.
I think the biggest discovery, and I do believe it would change religion, is if they did find the Ark of the Covenant. Because
Unclear on what exactly that is, though.
so
aren't
that no,
It
well,
doesn't
my-
really clarify.
my religion, I understand what that is.
we? What is it?
It's the Ark that held the 10 Commandments, the stones from the 10 Commandments.
So it's just a chest, is it?
It's a
not?
chest, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And
But are
inside
the
of
10
it
golden
Commandments
are
in it?
tablets,
that held the tablets,
right? That have some sort of
Right.
supernatural power.
I don't know if it does,
Well, it would have to,
right?
If
to
it's-
survive.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, it says it, yeah, it did say that. It
So
lays
that would
things
be a
to waste.
supernatural
I mean,
power,
yeah,
right?
I don't know if I believe it. I
It
don't know if I
melted the
subscribe
Nazis'
to
faces.
that.
Ah!
I saw that in the
That-
video.
That was a great effect.
It was disgusting. It's one of the more disturbing things. That and Blade Runner. Whew.
But I think that would be a huge.
Well, yeah, of
But
course it would
again-
be. But then so would finding the Holy Grail. But all these things
And again, if you
I
don't
think
believe,
the Vatican
it's
has the
still.
Holy Grail.
they very
It's-
well may.
I'm
And
sure
so,
they have
again,
the Ark too.
No,
But again, what is that going to matter if you have no faith and you don't believe that already? What is having that proof?
okay.
We
so
know where Jesus was laid. We know his body's not there. We have the shroud that he was wrapped in. Like, what more proof do you need? People still don't. It smells bad in here.
They need a magical
one
thing.
of the dogs just left.
They need a magical thing.
They do. They really.
The
do.
reality of it is, if you brought them the Ark of a Covenant that's just a chest and it's
It's-
really pretty, if it
They're
doesn't
not
do
gonna.
anything
It's not going to be
supernatural,
anything
no one's
different.
going to care.
Right.
No.
They're just not.
So for the believers, it'd be great, but it's not going to change how they believe any.
Exactly.
I think it would be
That's-
incredible.
Nor do we
It
need
would be
that
incredible.
power
It would
to
be. It'd
melt.
be cool if nothing. If
Nor
nothing
do we need
else,
that
it would
power
be
to melt
awesome
Nazis'
just
faces.
shut people up.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, cool, proof. But then again, that's what we can't have.
The
You can't-
naysayers can't. It's yeah.
It kind of kills the whole free will thing too.
One of the dogs.
The puppy dogs. It smells bad.
One of the dogs did.
And they both left, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure who was guilty.
So
Smells
bad.
Yucky.
Felt like we were gonna get engaged again.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like it
What the
smells
heck?
bad. That's literally what happened before.
Yeah, I know.
Like
It's
the
just-
dogs farted, and I'm sitting here like this.
Will you marry me? Yeah.
Yeah, it smells bad though.
great time.
I'm like, but it does.
They
still
were
smell
nervous
bad.
too. It wasn't just me. It was the dog too.
No, they're really not. They're like, oh God, can this be over?
Well, I was hoping it didn't go that fast because we still have 15
Are we
minutes
done?
left. We are done with.
All right, we're done with the
like-
slides.
Yeah.
With the slides.
but-
So, what do you? I mean, I think it'd be super cool if they could dig in and actually test the stuff,
But test it for
See,
what?
what it's made out of, how long it's,
we
all
know
that
well,
stuff.
we know it's boat shaped or whatever, and in the area where it's
Yeah.
supposedly at. And then at some point they can carbon date it and find out that it's old enough.
No, but it's just.
It still
I mean,
doesn't mean
No, it doesn't mean that. Just the fact it'd be cool. Same with the pyramids. Like, I would love to get in there and know how many rooms were in there, like what
just
they
even-
were.
just to get in there and just to see it. Like, it'd be
Yeah, like
amazing.
that'd just be super cool.
I would love to find something like that that nobody else knew about. All the ridiculous stuff that exists on this planet that we can't touch or can't see
Mm-mm.
is on some level
Stupid.
upsetting. But on the other hand, I don't know.
Like, I get
If-
preserving it because you don't want like Joe Bob tagging the side of the pyramid. Like, I'm off. Like, that's fine. But I want to go inside of it. Like, make me sign a waiver that if I fucking break the thing, like, you get to murder me and fill me in the hole or something.
There's
But,
no
like-
there's no punishment good enough for that though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And if you're the one who found it and your, let's say, I don't know, your beliefs don't align with whatever that story may prove, you're not going to let anybody see it. Like, let's suppose you live in a part of the world where
and I found the
this
covenant.
evidence might exist.
Yeah.
And you don't agree with what that evidence would prove. Are you going to make it real easy for
Am I
people to
going to
figure
tell
it out?
people?
Of
No,
course
that's
not.
true. Okay.
I don't know what the
Touche.
predominant religion belief system is in Turkey. I don't think it's Christians. It might be,
I don't know.
but I don't think it is. So the area where all this shit happened, where there would be proof, they're not going to help you prove
No,
shit.
you're not gonna
no,
get-
they're gonna. You got to pay the guy.
Oh, that's
off.
just a washcloth. Put that down. No.
Yeah.
I'm just.
You got to pay the guy off who owns a property. You got to,
Well, don't they say
Here's
that
two
the,
goats.
the Ark of the Covenant is supposedly in a building protected by monks or something like that? Isn't that the last? Wasn't that the,
Probably.
It's the Templar Knights. It's
Yeah.
or the Knights of the Round Table. Just depends on
Is that
which
what it
book you're
is?
reading. It depends
Yeah.
on which book you're reading. That was the Indiana Jones twist on it, I think.
No, but I thought recently.
when the-
didn't Josh Gates, Joey, do an episode on the Lost Ark, and he was saying that it was in they were standing outside the building in one of his episodes that supposedly the Ark was hidden in.
It doesn't surprise
and
me.
they
You have
couldn't
these
even-
guys that literally live up in the mountain in the
They
middle of
wouldn't even
fucking
let him
nowhere.
talk to anybody. Like,
No,
they couldn't
why would you talk to
or-
anybody?
yeah.
That's your job, is to protect this. And you have a kid, or you bring one in, or you buy one from somewhere and you find one floating in a river. I don't know. And then you keep taking care of it.
There's a lot of real serious consequences or repercussions if anything that concrete
Comes out.
was brought to light.
Yeah.
You
You only imagine half the stuff that's in the Vatican.
well, entire systems,
yeah.
entire countries,
Just
entire
demolished
just destroyed.
instantly.
I mean, you if you could prove that say one team was wrong about the stuff that they believe, do you think they would just be like, oh, I guess we were wrong, we'll stop doing what we've been doing?
No.
No, it just
it's just instant meltdown.
implode.
Holy crap. So yeah, it's crazy. It is interesting stuff, but it's funny because they're just like,
Oh, so Turkey's a religious melting
Okay.
pot. They have it all like the U.S.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
So again, who owns that property?
It's a dump, though, is it not?
Turkey.
Turkey's
Yeah.
supposed to be
I
really
don't-
pretty.
my brother just went there.
It's a real cultural place. It's. I don't think it's a safe place to travel right now.
No, not a
No,
lot
it's
of
not.
places.
Definitely
Yeah.
Not a lot of places are safe to travel
Yeah.
right now.
And
That's a thing.
My brother just went there and he sent pictures of some artifacts, and it was pretty cool. The shit he sent back.
those are. I mean, that's where
It was swords and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That's where
wasn't even
civilization
wasn't even
started.
Moses'
Yeah.
staff
Modern
or something.
Yeah, it
like
was
civilization
that,
Moses' staff.
that apparently they found, or
Gollum's ring.
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Precious.
I really wish I would have put that website on because
I
it's
wish you had to.
really cool website. I can go copy it real quick.
We could
We
also
don't really
make it.
need to get
Put it
lost
up,
into that right
but-
now
Why not?
It's very
because we
cool.
have 10 minutes.
What else
not
you gonna
4
do?
hours.
Well, we don't have to.
We can
stop
do
at
whatever
10
we want. We can do what
minutes.
we want.
You want to do it, Joey?
Do it.
Boy trails.
My precious.
I know, right? Turkey is a religious melting pot.
It's really pretty. It's supposed to be like mountainy and nice.
I believe I got some pictures from there. So daughter went there.
From
Traveled
Turkey.
in yeah, she was in Turkey because we were like, oh, Turkey. That's a terrifying place to be, but all right. But I don't really know. I've never been there. I just go with what they say.
I mean, his
I'm
brother
not-
goes there probably once a year for stuff, but it's supposed to be really pretty. Again,
Istanbul,
I think
Constantinople.
anywhere you go, you have that happening of, hey, something could happen.
Well, that's called living.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
So,
real downside.
Is
of
it any more dangerous
Mhm.
than living where we live?
Yes, but
Is it really?
well, only because
Depending on where you live?
only because we're from here. So yeah, it would be.
Is it though?
Yeah, if you're,
Go to some of these neighborhoods.
I know, but like, there's neighborhoods that would be terrifying to somebody if you're from a different neighborhood.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
My
Like,
neighborhood's not scary to me.
Is it any more dangerous than?
Yes, because I'm not from there.
That's
That's my
true.
point.
Just because you're not.
Just simply
you don't
because I
know.
don't. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on the wrong side of the arbitrary line.
But dangerous, I don't know.
Danger is relative and subjective and sometimes objective, depending on if you're from there or not. When you-
Exactly.
If
'Cause
I
if
go
you
to
don't know-
Chicago,
Where to run or where to hide or who to go to. Yeah.
it was Peter Griffin. They made me their king.
Yeah.
They respected me for saying it. Like,
What is it like? Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's the king and he's like, I don't even know why, but here we go. Save me.
they did it with was it C-3PO? They made the king in the Ewok village. They just worshipped him.
Oh yeah.
They decided, you just never know. Cultural norms and all that.
I don't
stuff.
need to be in charge of anything. Thank you. It's probably not good to put me in charge.
King David's sword and the bones of John the Baptist.
That's
Spear-
what it was. King David's
spear
sword.
that pierced Jesus'
It was
side.
pretty cool.
So those kinds of things, like
But again, how do we know that it truly was?
I don't know that I don't think we have
We know
a
it's old enough. We know
genetic
it's,
profile for Jesus.
No.
But-
maybe the Vatican does, and they're not telling us. We really don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, you
I
have the
don't know.
blood on that shroud.
Do we? I don't know.
It's blood stained.
Well, yeah, I would assume so.
Have we tested it? I mean, we have the potential.
I assume that somebody has, but
Again, are they going to let it
and
out?
these things are always they are still always faith.
And they're always subjective.
Yes.
So
If you choose not to believe something that's a point of faith, then nobody can convince you otherwise. Is what makes it
well,
so
and again,
scary.
if I didn't run the report and I didn't see it me personally, how do I really know? I don't.
Right.
I'm just going. I'm going off faith that this is real. I'm going off faith that this report is correct. I'm
Yep.
going. It's just all of that over again.
The ability to suspend your disbelief, and for what purpose?
Exactly. Are we
That's-
ready?
Makes left hard.
Let's do it, Joey.
What are we doing? We're going to website.
We're gonna go to website.
We're going to website.
I'm gonna go.
All right. So for our listeners, I put the website in the chat, so you can go ahead and copy that link and actually
Later on your own. Not
go
right
check
now.
out the website.
No, you go- just kidding.
We're checking it out now. His mouse is weird. I don't like it.
What's happening?
Whoa, go back up. A little more. That's cool right there.
What in the? Crap?
So it looks like a boat. And then it has rooms in there.
You haven't been on a real shrimp boat?
It's a shrimp boat,
No. I've
baby
been on a
shrimp,
real
and bubble
big
gum
boat.
shrimp, and
So is that the LiDAR one, Joey? Which one does it say that one is? I know it's super slow.
you gotta talk to her nice, Joey. Talk to her nice.
Is it upside down?
GPR.
GPR.
Whatever GPR is.
GPR
Oh,
slice.
ground penetrating radar. That's what GPR is.
Noise.
Couldn't remember that.
Ground pound.
Good job, because I didn't know what
Yeah.
GPR was. So yeah, that looks like rooms and stuff. That's kind of cool. And it has the depth and the.
I
Okay,
don't know what that is.
that's a
It looks like a thermal scan. That's
Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
That's
yeah.
what's messing me up is I don't know what those colors mean.
But I
yeah.
don't know what type of heat signature would be down there. Though.
Well, that's
I don't
what I'm
know
saying.
if it's-
I don't think that
I don't
is
know
heat
if it's
signature.
heat that it's looking
It
for.
means
It's-
something else.
It's
Maybe it's-
probably
I don't. Well,
Maybe
some
it's
kind of depth or
um,
density or who knows.
density. Probably.
I just don't know what they mean. So it's a little. I see a shape, but it's confusing to me because
Yeah.
I don't know what any of those colors mean. Keep rolling.
Keep
30
scrolling.
Rolling. So now that's wild because that's a photo with the scan
Yeah.
mixed in. And so
Side view, yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah, so it shows it up and down.
So that big rectangle there is because that's the area they were able to scan with the GPR,
Yeah.
not because that's all that it is.
no.
Right.
That's
that,
what's-
that was their initial scan.
And that's what's
yeah.
making my brain hurt. Is I'm like,
Oh, I got
He's
it.
there's
like,
a
"Where's the
perfect
rest of the
trailer sized
picture?"
piece right there. You know what I mean? So I'm going, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it probably breaks it up into quadrants. When
It makes sense, and I see that seeing that big picture there, where they've got all that area scanned, but clearly not every bit of
Area
it.
of interest. Okay.
That's interesting.
Video animation clip.
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't play.
So it shows you a different thing. Okay, cool. Still similar shape.
Those
Still.
are mitochondrial.
They actually do look like a
They do look like
mitochondria. That's
mitochondria.
funny.
That one's got an eyeball
Oh, he's splitting. He's splitting.
and a knife.
Oh.
Or no, that's a lightsaber.
0.4 meters.
That's a lightsaber.
I like the color band on that.
Right? It's
That's-
very. It's
That's
like
probably
a
your
teal.
key
It's
as to
very
what
nice.
the colors mean.
Yeah.
You just don't see it.
Oh yeah, and it probably says what they are. Damn it!
Yeah.
I wish I could read.
I think this is depth, so it's measuring depth.
Okay.
Well,
It's
this
saying
is at
2.8
this many.
meters.
So yeah, at
Right.
0.4 meters, this is the picture. At 2.8 meters, this is the picture.
It's
So
like
it's showing
MRI
it in
sliver.
levels.
Yeah.
3.7 meters. So if a
But
room
yeah, that little bar there
ends,
tells you what the.
okay, so 4.8 meters, it's starting to fizzle away because you're almost done.
Where's the watchtower? That's a pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 100 megahertz. Oh, this is the sound wave thing. This is ISO A and then ISO B. So it shows it bounces differently. I've heard of this. I haven't read much about it, but it's something with the sound waves, like when they bounce stuff off of it.
I saw.
Interesting.
can-
Isoba
you
and
can-
Isoa.
You can kind of see the lifeboats on the deck there.
And ISOC. So yeah, this is going to show a different one. That's crazy.
They're all consistent.
ISOD shows a lot.
What I don't know what any of that means.
It's just
I'm gonna
different
Google it.
Check your
different
box. yeah.
waves. Mhm.
Free iPod. iPod. iODOD. It's freaking cool.
ISO, you have A, B, C, and D so far. ISO. A, B, C, and D. What's after D, Joey? He's got to go. Vola. Yeah, they're all 100 megahertz. Vola A, Vola B. Oh, that'd be Volba, not Vola. Volb.
It's not telling me.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have an ISO 7000.
Isodynamic monitoring.
Could be.
Refers to the different levels of cleanliness, with A being cleanest and B being least clean, ISO standards. So it's particles concentration. So it's a particle thing.
Interesting. Thermography.
Oh, that word too. It's not thermography. Oh, here's all your heat stuff. Here's your heat stuff, Joey or Jack.
Why would there be different heat signatures?
Because you have to think the mountain itself's going to have its own heat from the earth coming up.
So
but
each-
as soon
each
as it
depth
hits,
will have a different temperature.
as soon
right?
as it
Probably.
hits the boat, essentially it's going to stop the heat. Right? Because it's not just going to keep going up through the dirt. So it would look a little different.
Shouldn't be hotter.
No, it would be cold, like that big cold spot right there.
Red's not cold.
Not red, the blue part.
Whatever.
Photogrammetry.
Exactly.
Photogrammetry. Grammarity.
Grammetry.
Photogrammer. You have two
How
M's in there.
dare you.
Grammetry.
How dare you?
The stone monument was documented with 80% or better overlapping images.
Hmm.
What do we look? What do we got? Oh, these are your.
Oh, those are the stones.
It makes sense though that they're not anywhere near where the boat is, because if they were hanging down in the ground.
Is that the last one, Joey?
Oh, rude. Rude.
Well, like I said, I put the link in the chat, guys. So go. I highly recommend you go check it out because
I'm
there's
gonna dig into it.
this was only one link that I
So
clicked on. There's several links
spot,
that you can
like,
you
goes
can
into-
click to.
That's cool.
So it's a very cool website. I highly recommend it.
You highly recommend it.
I do. That's where I got some of my images from for the show.
Well, they were
So,
cool.
very cool.
That's cool, especially if that's all the new research that they're doing out there.
So I
Jack, I can't see you.
I know.
I'd like to think it's a possibility.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm going at least 90%. Yeah.
I know for sure that we'll never get to see it.
You could. They do tours there.
We could go out there.
I know
but
for sure. I'll never get to see it.
Jack's like, that's a no.
Because you know what I don't do?
Travel.
Go to Turkey.
Go to Turkey. He's like, can I drive there? Nope. Then I ain't going.
Yeah, most places where there's
Will you go with me to see the
Oceans.
big boat?
War.
oceans in between us, like Australia, New Zealand, that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, most that over there stuff, don't care.
I would love to go. There's so
I would
much
love to go
history
see the
there, man.
pyramids and all that stuff, and then but there's just too
I
much
want to go see the sphinxes.
stupid asses around it.
Mm.
And I just,
That is true.
I don't.
That is
Yeah,
true.
nope. You can't.
Would you go with us to see the big boat here?
What? Oh, with the dinosaurs?
I don't know about the dinosaurs.
I know you got to look into it. It's
But I'll go
hilarious.
see the dinosaurs
hilarious.
with you.
There is a place, is it in Texas, Dinosaur Park,
Wherever that.
where they
ark
actually have
is.
the T-Rex footprints.
Oh,
fossilized.
I don't know
What?
about that one.
I think it's in Texas.
Yeah.
Joey, have you
Joey!
heard of that Dinosaur Park?
Texas.
I thought that was up in northern Arizona.
No. I want to say it's in Texas.
There's a dinosaur thing in Arizona too.
Oh, is there too?
There's
St.
one in
George?
St. George. They're all over the place.
Yeah,
Dinosaurs.
Well, we can
got
go
around.
see that
I would love to see
on
that.
the way to the boat.
I'd love to go to Montana and dig. That'd be fun. Go try
Why are you
to dig
digging in
up a fossil
Montana?
because that's where a lot of your remains are in Montana.
We're gonna go to Montana to go to Yellowstone anyways.
I know. See, perfect.
Been there, done that.
Gotta do it. Gotta go to Roosevelt Lodge.
Oh, you can't.
Yes.
It's gone.
And I gotta go where it was.
All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for
Okay.
us. We're gonna go down and play some music on TikTok.
Music that they
Appreciate
can
it.
actually do on.
Hey, if you guys like this episode, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Let us know you like it. We'll do more content like
or
this.
give us a flip off.
Don't
and
give us a
that's cool
thumbs
too.
down because too bad because I like this kind of shit. So we're gonna keep it. But
Too
no,
bad we're gonna delete.
Do what I want.
Do what I want.
this is a lot of fun. I like doing shit like this. So, all right, guys. So till next week, we'll see you. Jump over to TikTok, go to Truth About Beer and go watch us do some music.
And
Yeah.
What's your and?
What is your end?
That was serious, right? Did
I
you
know,
like
that was
pretty
good. That was very good.